Hello, soulful entrepreneurs. Welcome to this week's podcast of the Soulful Entrepreneurs Club podcast. And so this week, I'm going to continue the series on keys to entrepreneurial success. Last week, I spoke about inner work and what that actually means, what that actually looks like, and why that is beneficial. So, if you haven't listened to that podcast, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and listen to that. I will have the link in the show notes. And I also want to take this opportunity to invite you to my masterclass, How to Attract Dream Clients You Love. This class I've had before, and I have had really positive feedback. Despite that, whenever I do something, I always want to do it better the next time. So I made some changes based on some of the questions I received, and I added a component where I talk about using AI to help with your business and marketing and your client attraction. So in this class, it's a 90-minute class, and those that show up live will have the opportunity to be coached live on the call. If you can't make it live, just go ahead and register and you will receive the recording. The recording will be available for about 2 weeks after. There are two options to attend. One is on November 1st and one is on November 8th. And the thing is, the times and the details are in the show notes. I would love to have you there. I have seen so many spiritual, soulful entrepreneurs spin their wheels, struggle with running a business, and often lose touch with why they even started. And I don't want that to be you. I want you to feel empowered, knowing what you need to do so that you can attract your clients and run your business without the stress and the overwhelm and all the overdoing. And like I say, doing all the things. Okay. So if that sounds like something you're interested, please register. The link will be in the show notes and invite people who you think would benefit. It is a free class. There's no obligation for anything if you attend the class. So I'd love to see you there. And I'd love to see you live so I can have the opportunity to coach you. Okay, so now into this week's topic about entrepreneurial success. And this week, I want to talk about focus. So, a lot of times as an entrepreneur, we enter the world excited, right? We're connected to why we started our business. We're connected to the possibilities of what we can do, what is possible to create with our business. And we go in, and after some time, you will inevitably hit some roadblocks, some resistance. And so when that happens, what some people do, actually, most entrepreneurs will do, especially if you're new, is then look for what to do next and be distracted by the bright, shiny objects. So, the bright, shiny objects, it could show up in many different ways. It could show up as a different way to market. It could show up as a different way to brand yourself. It could show up as a different way to a place to go differently, maybe a different group to attend. I mean, there's a lot of ways that it can show up, right? So now there are those things that are opportunities, and sometimes they're just distractions and they're bright, shiny objects. Okay. So it's important to know the difference between when it's time to try something new, try a different strategy, attend a new group, do something out of what the way you've been doing it, versus just keep trying different things and almost be unfocused, right? So the first place to go to know is being honest about how you are actually spending your time. What do you do on a daily basis in your business? What percentage of time, and I mean, I don't expect this to be exact percentage. It could be the amount of hours you spend on administrative tasks. Like these are tasks like answering emails, um, paying bills, doing your bookkeeping if you do your own bookkeeping, things like that, right? And then what percentage do you actually spend on marketing? So this one's a little tricky because if I ask people, they usually overestimate the amount of time they're spending on marketing because they count some activities that are actually really not marketing as marketing, and one of those things is attending like the class that I'm having. Listen, I want you to come, but that is not marketing. Attending the class is learning. And that could be under CEO time for your business where you wanting to grow and learn. Okay. So that is different than marketing. So be honest about marketing. Marketing where you're being visible so people and you're asking people, offering people whatever it is that your service that you're providing, and then you're giving them the opportunity to work with you, right? So the marketing is, and that's the sales part, right? So the marketing is like, here I am, right? What are you doing that's actually marketing? Then, how much time do you spend a week on actual client work? So be clear about that. And there may be some hours there that you want to fill, right? So, how many hours would you want to spend on client work? And then, how much do you spend on stepping away from your business and planning, like actual CEO time, right? This is the one that a lot of people don't do. They're just so in the weeds of running their business that they're not spending the CEO time. Okay, so before you can know where to focus and whether it's time for you to switch what you're doing, you need to know where you're actually spending your time and what you're actually doing. So once you have that clear, you can even start by brainstorming. You can look at your calendar. I want this to be really clear where you're looking at it and it's clear. The average amount of time I spend a week marketing is 3. The amount of clients, 5, whatever, right? And then if there are gaps, what is that time being done? What are you doing during that time? Okay, so that can also help with time management. But once you're clear about that, then you look at your results. So what are the results of this percentage that you're spending, right? Where are your clients actually coming from, right? What are the results in other ways? So there may not just be client results, but also um, the maybe you feel connected. Different. There's different things that are results besides just clients and income. So I want you to look at all the results that you're receiving you're creating in your business. And then from there, you can look and start to decide and assess where to make some changes. Instead, I'm willing to bet that you don't make decisions of where to focus again, where to shift your focus through a really mindful process like this. But instead, you see someone or you hear about another marketing strategy or you see someone that's doing something successfully and you want to try that, or you are deciding to take another certification program, another training program, because hey, who doesn't love? I love learning. I could continue to take training programs, right? Now, if that's a line and you actually want to improve your skills and you're choosing that because you want to improve your skills versus that you need it to have a successful business, then go ahead, right? So making sure of your intention behind the decisions you're making and having a clear picture of where you actually are in your business, where you're focusing your time needs to change. So when you do this, you may notice that maybe you're not spending enough time marketing. So let's see how you can market. How can you market in a different way? Or how can you make the activities that you already are doing more impactful and more effective? I would always start there. Okay. Always start with how can I make this more effective? Have I really looked at every way to make this activity work for me? Or can I make this work for me better? Okay. Because as you use and you get better at something, the results can be better too. But sometimes an activity or something that you're doing for your business is no longer serving you. It's no longer aligned. It feels exhausting. And then it's time to get rid of that, right? So there's no rule that it has to be this or that. But I want you to choose consciously about where you're spending your time. Then you create a plan and you focus. Let's say some other idea comes floating by and you're like, oh, wow, look at that bright, shiny object. You don't do it yet. You make note of it somewhere. And so when you're ready to reassess, you can look at it at that time. You're going to focus on the purpose of your business. You're going to focus on what you decided to focus on, and you're going to go into each of those practices. So you have a schedule, you have structure, and you have some flexibility within that structure. Okay. And so you can tweak what you're doing in those within that structure, but creating some structure for yourself, it'll free up your mind. You won't be looking constantly for answers. When something comes, you'll say, I know what I'm focusing on this quarter or these 3 months or this month or whatever, however often you want to look at this. I would recommend a month is kind of short, so probably 3 to 5, 6 months, depending what it is, right? Um, oh no, I'm not doing that yet. I'm focusing on this. These are the strategies that I'm focusing on. If I'm not getting the results, how can I make these work better for me? And so that'll prevent you from being scattered, right? When I've worked with people that have been in business for a long time and myself have found myself in these places many times, I've had to kind of step back. They're doing so many things and nothing's being done right. Right. And it's just because they feel like they have to do this, then that, and they see people that are on all these places. Now, remember, when you see someone that's marketing on all the platforms, they have a team. Okay. They have people supporting them. And so unless you have a team supporting you, um, I'm not talking about one assistant. I'm talking about a team, right? Unless you have that, those things are not going to be as effective. You really need to be doing things at a depth and connect well with people so that you can market your business and be successful as an entrepreneur. Okay. So creating that structure, working within that structure, it's actually frees your mind to be creative within that structure instead of your mind and the creativity focusing in all the other things. Okay. So you take the action, you keep focused on that, focused on your vision of what you want to create in your business. You trust that the results are coming. Work on your mindset through the process. So last week I talked about the inner work. Your mindset is a big part of the process. Whatever you're seeing out there is not just a result of what you're doing. It's what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and the energy that you're putting out there. There have been so many times that I have gone to one of the things that I've done in the past and continue to do on and off is go to business networking events because I love to connect with other people. And there are times when it works really well. I love connecting. I'm having fun. I'm meeting people one-on-one. We're collaborating and it's growing my business. And I don't even sometimes, you build your network and you get referrals, right? And you don't always know exactly how that happened, but you know that it's through that process of building your network and building connections and being of service. When I've shown up in the scarcity of like, oh, I haven't got a consultation for so long. Where's it going to come from? Oh, I have to get a consultation from this event. When I show up like that, I do not get results. And networking feels not fun. It just feels like something I have to do. I would tell myself that it's just not working anymore for me and may look for other strategies instead of being really clear, well, why isn't it working? How am I showing up? Am I being true and honest? Am I showing up with the energy of service, of how I can help others instead of wanting mine and needing clients? Am I making genuine connections beyond just attending the event? Am I wanting to help others and collaborate? Do you see the difference? So you could say networking doesn't work, or you can say networking works when I show up aligned, when I show up in a way to serve. And that's been so true for me. For every single thing that I do in my business, for my clients too, we will work together on the way that they were looking at something that they were doing, and it'll shift their mindset, completely change the results they get. They start to attract clients. They start to feel, more importantly, excited about their business every day. So focus serves you. The lack of focus and the bright, shiny object syndrome distracts you. And you can feel like you're working all the time, but you're not going to get the results that you desire. So be honest with yourself. How are you spending your time? How do you want to spend your time, and what results do you want? All right, again, remind you, if you're interested in attending my masterclass, register. The link will be below. I look forward to next week, where I'll continue the series on entrepreneurial success. Until then, take care. Bye.